Hey, what's up everybody? Eagle Brew slash Reactor here. For this video, I wear my glasses in this video after a long series of videos of not doing it. Um, I'll just take them off actually. Feels better. I don't know. But anyways, in this video we are going to talk about Thor 5. What? I don't know, it just felt like it, there's a lot of buzz and news going about it all of a sudden, even though Marvel's really released nothing, so I'm like, alright, why don't we all discuss it together? So let's start there. First of all, when is it going to come out? What do we know about it? I'm going to address all those things. But if you guys are interested in just videos like this stuff about MCU, the new DC universe, all that stuff, movies in general, shows, whatever, then consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video if you guys just want more of this stuff. Anyways, let's begin from here. Okay, so Thor 5 is a movie which will be coming out by Marvel, maybe 2026, 2027, or maybe later again. It's not coming out anytime soon, all right? It would be maybe late 26 if there's nothing there, or maybe 2027, I don't know. It's just Marvel's already pushed on so much stuff that it's hard to predict now, and there are a lot of other movies that have already been pre-planned. So, unless they come out of the blue and just announce Thor 5 somewhere, it's like, I don't know if it'll come out in the multiversal saga or not. So honestly, it just depends. For example, like Deadpool 4, Deadpool and Wolverine 2, whatever, will probably come out in the Mutant Saga since it just won't fit in the timeline as of right now. But anyways, for Thor 5, alright, so Thor Love and Thunder, Thor 4 came out in 2022, right? And the next one will follow that. So when Thor 4 came out, right, people didn't like that movie as much, right? It was one of the weakest of the two Thor films, as said by most people. Some say it was worse than The Dark World, others said it was better but worse than the other two. So, whatever you thought about it, maybe you enjoyed it a lot, I don't know. You can share your thoughts in the comments. But when I watched it first in theaters, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I may have. The first time I saw it in theaters, I actually kind of liked it. But as soon as I left, I walked out, I'm like, the movie kind of sucked. So then I'm like, yeah, I don't think it was a great movie. Um, Way too comedic, just stupid, dumb stuff was going around, and then I was like, yeah, this movie wasn't all too great, was it? And then when you heard about what happened behind the scenes and all the stuff, and Taika Waititi had way too much control as the director, you kind of understood and put the pieces together as to why the film ended up being like that, Thor giving his power to a bunch of children and all this weird stuff happening, and how Gore was nerfed, yeah, but could have been a great film. Ultimately turned out pretty bad. So we all remember the last one. We try not to, but we kind of have to if this is what's gonna follow up with that. But so what do we know about Thor 5, right? What do we know? Well, clearly, Thor will return as Chris Hemsworth will be playing him, and we'll probably head on to some new direction we haven't seen yet. We don't know who the villain is or any of that stuff. We don't even have an official director yet. But we could know something as to what's happening. First of all, let's talk about the director. If you guys don't know, I heard a few days ago though about George Miller being interested in directing Thor 5. I think he shared some interest in it. So if you guys don't know who George Miller is, let me sort of explain, and I can pull it up as well. I have it here. He was sort of, I think like the producer, maybe even director of some of the Mad Max films. So he's mainly notable for that series of movies. He's done them, he's an Australian filmmaker. He worked, I think he was maybe a producer. I don't think he was the director, was he? Oh, he was the director. Okay, he was the director for the last Mad Max film. So he's worked with Chris Hemsworth before. So that's a good sign, Um, and if you just see like how the design and like all the set looks like for it, and just his line of work and his reputation, I guess I could see why maybe he may be interested in directing it, and maybe they do end up picking him. We don't know yet, but it could work, And if you guys like his movies or not, you can let me know in the comments below. But it is possible, I don't think we have any like fan director choices out yet, but we can see, what will happen. I mean, that's all in the future, But if Marvel is maybe looking for a director right now, he could be in the running, and if you just search him up right over here, I think he also expressed interest in creating a Hulk film, a World War Hulk film. You know, uh, I think he reached out, or Feige's reached out to numerous directors for World War Hulk, including George Miller, who has shown interest in directing Thor 5. Um, so these are all possible things, you know. I mean, the World War Hulk film would be amazing, you know. I think Marvel does have the rights to Hulk now. I think Universal Studios has lost them. So, you know, if you get a Hulk film or something like that, that could probably work out in the Mutant Saga, and that would just be cool to watch, you know. Hopefully, we get behind the Professor X, you know. It was a nice running joke in Endgame, but it's gone on for far too long now, you know. What else? So he could possibly direct it, you know, but aside from that, you know, cool choice. Again, you can let me know. What would the story even be about, you know? And there's some videos and theories going on about it. Well, let's take a look at the last one, you know, and what do we want in this one, right? First of all, more comic accuracy, more Thor lore, and just a good narrative telling story, right? I believe in one interview, Chris Hemsworth said he's always tried to do something new and different with the characters, so hopefully we could get something like that, right? We definitely want to see the character, you know, facing up against some new villain, someone who's threatening, you know, maybe you know, it probably has to be some in some line with the comics, you know, but with some changes, of course. Something we haven't seen again previously, you know, but that would be really cool to see in theaters, you know. So there's that, and also just something related to Norse mythology. You know, I mean, I'm just a huge fan of Norse mythology. That's why I like the Thor character a lot. You know, Neil Gaiman brought me into the world of Norse mythology, like true, pure Norse mythology, not the MCU one. Just been a fan of it. You know, so yeah, if you get something related to like that, especially with, you know, with Loki, with season 2, saying it was kind of related to Yggdrasil, tree from Norse mythology. You know, that was really cool to see and all. You know, so. I know the MCU changes it, tweaks it a bit, and I'm totally on board with that, you know, but if you get something like that, that would definitely be cool to see. And of course, you know, with the last film, you know, the post-credit scene, one of them was teasing we could possibly see Valhalla, which in my opinion would be amazing, you know. I think it's basically the place where when the Norse people end up dying, I think that's where they all go. You know, it's treated as it's basically like, you know, a really cool place to end up at. You know, if you die like a heroic battle or something, you know, then you end up there, which in my opinion does sound pretty cool. You know, I don't know how Jane Foster ended up there, you know, but oh well, she's there now. But of course, we saw Heimdall there as well, who in my opinion was just a goated character. I wonder if Loki would be there as well, you know, after dying in Infinity War. Maybe, maybe not, considering I think how he was like a frost giant or whatever. But you know, we'll see. Um, I mean, I know the Loki from the series one is alive, but you know, even if Thor does end up reuniting with him, it just won't be the same as the Infinity War one. You know, when he was like, "Don't worry, the sun will shine on us again, brother," or something. He said that in Infinity War. So we'll see what happens there. But you know, if they do end up reuniting somehow, Thor and Loki, that would definitely shed some tears, I guess. But you know, again, if you could see Valhalla, what's going on between there, maybe that place plays a role, maybe in Thor 5, some shape or form, then that would definitely be cool. Maybe Thor could maybe get a message from the people who are there, something could happen, who knows, you know. I mean, we do know that officially Asgard was destroyed in Ragnarok, you know. So that happened. And Ragnarok was one of my favorite MCU films overall. I really enjoyed it. Best Thor movie, clearly, in my opinion. So there was that. Um, but what else? That's one thing that we could see, you know, which could play a role. And then the other post-credit scene, of course, I think it was maybe the first or second one. I think it was the first post-credit scene. Was teasing Hercules, you know, who's from Greek mythology, I believe, right? Again, I'm just a fan of mythology in general. I prefer Norse over Greek a little bit, you know. I mean, I guess Percy Jackson's a cool character and all, but whatevs, you know. But, you know, if Thor does end up going against Hercules in Thor 5, which is a possible rumor, that would be cool, but there's one thing I do want them to do, and that is not pull an Adam Warlock. If you guys know what I mean, let me explain. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, in the post-credit scene, you know, there was a tease that Adam Warlock would be in Guardians 3, right? But then, when you watch Guardians 3, you could clearly tell that James Gunn somehow to force Adam Warlock into the story, you know, and Ryan George did mention that at his pitch meeting for the film, you know. You definitely should check out those videos. They're really awesome, you know. But in it, in the movie, you could clearly tell how, you know, I think, and James Gunn himself has mentioned when it comes to post-credit scenes, how you tease one thing, you know, but it doesn't always pan out, you know. But then us, the audience members, are expecting Adam Warlock to be in it, you know. And it just kind of felt weird having him in it, giving him an arc and someone making him a good guy and all, treating him sort of like as a failed experiment because, Guardians 3 had a whole different plot narrative about Rocket and the other stuff going on, it would just become too jam-packed if they just focused on Adam more like, so it kind of felt like he felt forced to sort of ride him in, so, so they do end up tying Hercules in it, and if they might have a different plot story in mind, so hopefully they don't do an Adam more like, maybe they try something else instead, make it work, make him feel somewhat important to the film. That would just be even better. And Zeus is still alive, right? He did not die, so you know, it'd be cool to see him return. So those are some things that we could see, but also other different elements I would like to see as well. I mean, anything's really possible. I would like to see Valkyrie return. I thought she was a cool character, especially with the last couple. But I also like to see her have some sort of bigger role, give her like defining moment. I wonder if all the Valkyries are dead, as mentioned in Ragnarok. How they all died. I think trying to fight Hela, or something like that. And I wonder if she's really the only one left, or maybe there are others. Maybe she doesn't end up fighting them. Maybe they'll went into hiding or something. Who knows these days? With people going into hiding, but it could be possible. You know, I mean, anything's doable. With the MCU these days. Bringing back characters and whatnot. But we'll see. I would like to see some other MCU characters as well return. Into the Ragnarok. Maybe the Guardians could return. It is possible, but I mean, they're pretty much disbanded now. But if they do come together again, maybe in Doomsday or Secret Wars or whatever, and if Thor 5 does end up coming out after those films, then it is possible. So we shall see with that. And I mean, they have, worked with them before a little bit. So yeah. I was kind of disappointed how the artist as Guardians of the Galaxy never really became a thing. I understand it was always meant to be temporary, but still would have liked to see it go on a little bit longer, That's why I really wanted Guardians 3 to come out before Thor 4, And you could clearly tell how why Guardians was done way better than Thor Love and Thunder, because James Gunn clearly spent way more time on it. Didn't feel like really a rush project and any of that stuff, so he had time to, cook and make it awesome. And hopefully we get that with Superman coming out this summer, so we'll see. But yeah. What else? What else? I don't know. That's basically all I have. We don't really know too much about the film, and I don't want to say anything that's like just being rumored and all that. I mean, most of what I'm saying are just ideas, but are possible, and just some thoughts that I do have. So yeah, but I would just end this with saying, hopefully we get a new side of Thor that we haven't seen before, maybe more powerful, stronger, and what sort of message the character wants to give off this time, Is he gonna get another hammer? Is he gonna do something, Is he gonna show, how much of a god he really is? I mean, he's been around for, like what, like more than 1,000 years, right? He's like 1,500 something, who knows at this point, right? So we'll see. We shall see. You know. But if George Miller does end up directing it, and if the script is pretty good, and we just get good things, hear good things about it, then I think it could end up being a pretty good Thor film, Not looking for greatness, but just a good story, good ideas, and I think that definitely could work out. But basically, I think that's all I have for you guys, just a general video I wanted to make about the Thor 5 film, and what are my ideas as to what could happen in it. Once we get more information about it, I can definitely share that with you guys, I mean, a trailer for that probably won't come out in a long time, but if any updates are there, then, I would definitely share them with you guys. But then anyways, you guys, with that being said, I've basically gone through everything about what I know for Thor 5. If you guys want to update or address anything, you can do that in the comments below. But anyways, thanks for sticking around and checking out this video. The Eagle Reactor is out. Take care, you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.